So we could do. Oh, you got to change the category yourself. Okay. I'm actually just gonna kind of rank the cards in terms of how good they are. For balance, real quick. How do we add a row? No, garbage was. Wait, what color was this? It was that color? F. Needs a buff. Thanks, Motown. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. You doing anything for the break? I can just do it here. I need something that starts with A. There. Awesome. Yeah. These are kind of auto include. Which card, sorry? Oh, this? Hewlin? Yeah, alchemy. I feel like I need another. Oh, there we go. Extremely cheesy. There we go. Compass only, and then this can be. Um, buffable. Oops. If you ever skip my country song request again, was that your request? I'm sorry. I usually don't skip requests. I thought it was in my playlist.
It's a raid!
Yo, Gabane.
Gabane 22 just traded with 106 viewers.
How's it going? Thank you for the raid. Welcome, everyone. So, I was messing out with the tier lists. I think actually, like, for like the balance council stuff, this is a much better format than like a spreadsheet. You know what I mean? Like, if I just wanted to educate the youths of Reddit on what cards like are OP, like what cards are like very strong and should never be buffed, but probably don't need a nerf either because they're kind of fine. Cards that are like balanced, they're playable. And you know, like some of them you could argue could be buffed, but really like they're fine. You know, they see play in their respective decks and archetypes, and they're not like super deadly, and they're also not trash either. And then some cards that I think are like kind of weak, but it's okay to buff them. Some cards that are just situational. Actually, he can go up. That are compass only, and I don't necessarily think they should be buffed because Combi goes there. Sorry, chat. Arnival, where's Arnival? Well, right. So he's goated, but like, come on. When was the last time you saw this in a meta deck? And then realize he's not good enough, but close. Yeah, there you go. Like, and I needed them to start with the letter F. So if you have a better category name that starts with F, it's fine. These are, to me, these are extremely cheesy, or like extreme caution. Do not buff. Like, this lets me have a D category right now. Yeah, she's kind of fine, but it's like she's kind of binary, right? I like it too. So but the thing is, like, if you buff her, you can get really like she's either really oppressive or plays for 6 points. She's like Philippe, you know? She's not answer or lose. I mean, in a round 3 with Harold, she plays for like 30, 40 points. It's just that it's never a thing because A, it doesn't see play, and B, like, it's conditional. Like, because it's an extra point for every warrior that you play when you have Harold. And then those cards that like do like 3 damage end up doing 6 damage. Yeah, I don't think she's she's answer or lose either. It's more like I don't think they should be buffed. Maybe we need a better category called do not buff. Because it's like I don't know. Like I don't think Hjalmar could be 12 power? What? Oh, this Hjalmar. Yeah. If Fulmar had Zeal? I saw somebody play a deck that had they had the Petrie's filter to give Fulmar Zeal. And like it worked, but they still lost because it's 12 provisions. The other cringe Hjalmar, yeah. Okay. I was like 12 power Hjalmar. Come on, Gabane. Drinking hours start early. Yeah. People think exactly. Like you don't want Rain to be playable. Like that's why this isn't extremely cheesy. Like I can kind of tolerate Rain when they don't run this card, but like when they have this, it's like these are balanced. Olaf's balanced. Olaf could be buffed a little. He like doesn't see play even in Self Wound, but I don't really know what to do with him. He is kind of cheesy. Is it like a compass only card? Yeah, sure, man. That'd be awesome. Okay. Let me hop on. Let me just call you. Does that work? Without fighting? No promises. Ding dong, ding dong.
Yo.
Hello. Chat, can you hear?
I feel like Skellige is a good one to not fight, actually.
Yeah. It's like neutral ground.
yeah, exactly. It's like fairly not controversial,
Yeah.
you know?
For monsters, I want to get somebody else on the call.
yeah, not me, definitely not. No,
Same
that
with
would
NR.
end up badly. yeah. Also, on NR, I kind of usually see the points. It just comes down to like,
there's a style difference too, so like preference kind of thing.
Yeah. Can we very quickly go over your stuff, and you don't have to apply what I say, but I will just voice the things I might potentially disagree with.
Okay.
I don't think Fukusha is busted. I think she's barely playable.
Really?
Like, yeah, I think she really struggles already. Like she's playing Warriors, but even there, like
that's because she doesn't have a tutor for it, right?
Yeah.
But it's like it's busted if somebody else plays it.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
So it's like,
but even you know, in other factions she's busted, but in Skellige I feel like she's not that crazy.
Yeah.
I think I would also disagree on Tyr being busted. I feel like for 14 provisions he's fine.
Like, yeah, I guess I'm not necessarily saying these should be nerfed. Wow, maybe this should be nerfed still. But just kind of like,
yes,
they're the strongest cards in the game. Like points per provision. Like if a Tyr isn't answered, he can play for like 50 points. What else does that?
Yeah, but many cards actually. Some cards straight up win you the games if you. So here let me explain why, in my opinion, Tyr's answer or lose is less bad than other ones, because Tyr is answer or lose in a deck where you don't have to answer anything else.
That's true.
So basically,
unless they run like,
if you have one piece of control.
Yeah. So like in context, that makes sense, right?
Well, yeah, but he will never be played in any other decks because he only makes sense in Warriors.
What about Puzzle's Tyr Alchemy deck?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. So I'm not rating the cards on like their but I think of their
I
design
got it.
just more like in terms of like strength. This is like a power rating.
Yeah, I got it. That's a good idea actually. That's a good thing to do. I wouldn't. I'm not sure.
Like who would win a fight,
Svalbard
Tyr
is-
or Brand? Tyr, right? Obviously.
Yeah. But I don't know if I would include.
Maybe I'll just say
Sigmund
this.
and Busted as well.
Super strong. There.
Yeah, that's better. I think that's better. But I'm not sure about Sigvald. I feel like already before even he got nerfed, I feel like he wasn't that good already. Like he was strong, but he wasn't really.
Well, in the
deck.
Parasol of Fury deck, he's not that impressive. But when you play Ursine, just Sigvald with Care Trolled, with like no Canute, nothing,
Yeah,
it still
fair,
plays for like
fair.
so many points and requires
I
a
don't
heat
disagree
wave.
with Sigvald.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with Sigvald, and I feel like if he was 6 power, it would be. I wouldn't mind him being 6 power and maybe 8 provisions, something
Gotcha.
like that.
Yeah, 9 provision was a bit weird.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't help him be answered. You just all that does is the deck that plays him loses a provision. Because they're not cutting Sigvald.
Exactly.
Like you're not cutting any of these
Exactly.
cards. Is kind of my point, right? No matter what
Yeah.
happens, if this is in a deck, it stays in a deck. You could change it by
Yeah.
2 provisions, and it was probably still wouldn't. Maybe Tyr would leave, but like.
Tier is cuttable. Yeah,
yeah.
tier is cuttable.
Whereas these cards, like they're very
Fukusha
good,
is cuttable.
but you can cut them. You think Fukusha is cuttable? Okay, there we go. Fukusha is like Harold, kind of, right?
Yeah.
They're both like.
Oh, wait. You have Iced? You know, Iced is straight up garbage.
In Blaze of Glory, he's very good.
Yeah, no. You play Svandrige now. Everybody plays Svandrige. All the like optimized decks play Svandrige. Svandrige is just
Mr. Trocco
exactly
would
the same
disagree.
points, but for who?
Mr.
Who would
Trocco.
disagree?
Well, because like
Oh well.
so with the Bloodthirst, he can play for a lot more, right?
I would argue Iced. You never ever put Iced in your deck, like under any condition. I think I would not play Iced if he was 5 power.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he is.
I think
he is
Iced
6
is really
power
bad right now.
right now.
I would still not play him over Svandrige because Svandrige is basically the same points, but for like half of the provisions, right? Svandrige is 7, I think.
But
If
Ice
I'm
has
not
to be
wrong.
answered too. And
Not really.
and Svandrige
Like,
goes
okay,
taller.
sure. If you play a discard, yeah, Svandrige goes tall, but not by that much, by 3 points. So ultimately, it's not.
Well, no,
like,
because he can
honestly-
be reset. Like Svandrige can be spored, but if you iced a greatsword, it can't be. It can't be spored.
Well, yeah, you can reset. That's the main weakness. But like, you're paying 5 provisions just to not be able to be reset,
And to.
and to potentially once in every 10 games get a second unit on board.
I mean, okay, well, when I was playing it last or 2 seasons ago, I got the extra card like half the time.
Interesting. Like, half the time. Also, good point with Svandrige. Okay, here's the killer argument. Here's the knockout argument. Svandrige, you don't have to play the same turn you leader.
True, but your
And
opponent
that's
can fuck
very
with
relevant. Yes, but
it. Plus, you
still,
can play
that's
Ice
very
and
relevant.
Svandrige. But there's nothing that says you can't play both.
Well, that's a bit overboard. Like then you.
So
your
you
opponent
play
can really
Ice,
fuck with
right,
it.
with Svandrige in your hand, and if they kill the Ice, then like you tier and then you Svandrige after that, like or whatever. I don't know. There's
That seems a bit copium. I honestly would never include Iced in any of my decks. I think Iced is actually a card that can get buffed. Like
you,
by
you would put it in the buffable category.
yeah, by like 2 points even, not just 1. I think
Wow.
for it to be playable, it would need like either -1 prov +1 power or +2 power or -2 prov, something like that. And even then, if it was 10 provisions, I would probably still run Svandrige over it.
Interesting. Okay, cool. All right, what's
I
next?
think when I reviewed it, I had Iced in like one of my weakest cards. The rest of the stuff I mostly agree with. I think.
anything
yeah.
in this list that you don't think is auto included?
No, I think it's all fair. I think all. Ceres is, I don't know,
You think it's?
not that good.
I've been playing a lot of
think
like
Cer-
I love Bears as self wound deck, and she's been smurfing. That's maybe I'm a little biased towards these some of these self wound.
Yeah, you seem to be a bit biased towards self wound. I was
Yeah.
about to say that. You
Yeah,
seem
and
to have
Draco
a
Turtle,
slight
like
self-wound
like
bias.
yeah. if you're still here, I'll play one game and you'll show you how he plays it. It's kind of weird.
It's already midnight. I can't stick around
okay.
for too long, but I want to stay for a bit.
Okay.
The rest, I think I agree with everything, including the boar. I think the boar is like there for his provisions. I think I agree on all of the other ones. In basically balanced.
Okay.
In buffable, I also agree on all, I guess. Especially what's his name?
Blue Boy?
Hamdall.
Hamdall, yeah.
Blue Boy is almost playable, I think.
Yeah.
Blue Boy is buffable, but almost playable, close to being playable.
Yeah, I mean, all these cards are played and playable. Babion's probably the most played, right?
Yeah.
But well, okay, so I'm Hamdall is at the end because he's I feel like the weakest. For 12 points, he's
Varys I would not want buffed. I agree with her power level. I agree that she could use a buff, but I also don't particularly want her deck to be played. I don't think it was a particularly healthy deck.
Well, because it's Lippy, right?
Yeah. But then again, you would need to buff her a lot for that deck to come back, I think. So
yeah, the way that I would buff this would be to reduce the provisions of the maidens that she summons, so that she doesn't get any more points. But that thinning card becomes a bit more playable for other decks.
So the way to make her dangerous, if you want to make the deck playable, but it's kind of scary, is to buff the maidens by 1 power.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I don't want to do.
5 power, and that's I don't think we should do that. Yeah. That's kind of scary.
Turkey is very sad.
Turkey, I would give 1 more power, I think.
Yeah.
Not a priority buff at all. Nowhere near priority buff, but it's something I would consider. Heim, I would disagree on. I think Heim is playable. I think Heim is balanced.
But
in the right meta, I think.
Do you ever put Heim in your deck?
Yeah, I had Heim in one of my decks not so long ago, actually. Well, kinda long ago, but in Golden Necker meta, I had him in my deck. And he was doing okay,
Yeah, just like this card. These cards are playable. You can put them in your deck. All of these. They're not bad.
I feel like I would argue Heim is balanced, and I would argue Artis might be balanced. I don't think you want Artis to be much stronger than he is because he's a pretty oppressive card.
These are not things that should be buffed, right?
Okay, fair.
These are situational niche cards that are good. But I don't. They're not auto include or very strong. They're not common. But I also don't necessarily think they should be buffed. Is that?
Yeah, that's fair. I think one thing you might disagree with, considering where she was to begin with, is I think Ulula is actually a good card to buff. I feel like
How
Ulula
would you buff
is a
her,
card
though?
I would definitely. No, Ulula, not Ceres.
Yeah. How would you buff it? You'd have to buff it by power, which makes it harder to answer.
Then 1 less provision, at 7 provision, I think she's. Honestly, she might be fair at 6 provisions.
6? No.
She would be strong. She would be an outliner, but I'm not sure it would be a problem. It would be very strong. It would be pushing it.
If this doesn't get answered, every Drummond Berserker becomes 2 per turn. So it adds 2 to the Berserker.
Only
every 4 provision warrior card gets 2 or 3 extra points.
Only against certain decks, to be honest. At 6 power, again, we're talking about a deck that doesn't have any cards you need to answer. You need 1.
Well, you can play Defender, Ulula, Sigdrifa, and Bakusia.
Okay, good point. That could be pretty. That could be annoying. Yeah, if you start,
because she doesn't need a deploy either.
If you put her at 6p, she starts becoming. Yeah, okay, 6p is pushing it, but at 7, I think she's.
You
fine.
can even grimace the shit, and then
Yeah. Then again, you build your strategy around making her survive. What have you achieved? You given warriors
the
maybe
payoff's not really
5
worth
or 6
it,
points.
This is me playing Ulula with Hamdall.
Oh, okay.
And,
let's see.
And
see, that's a healthy Hamdall buff.
56 to 46.
That's a good way to buff Hamdall. Yep. Let's see. Well, I'm slightly delayed, so it came later for me, but yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but because there was so much armor, because this is rent-free NG, it actually didn't matter.
It should have been. Yeah, it should have been more. But the general point is, I feel like Ulula is cool design. Like your
I
clip
love the
even
card too.
proves it.
That's why I didn't put it in
It's
extremely
cool
cheesy.
design.
It's also good with like Herkia. Like Herkia, the click becomes 6. The old Udalric was an extra 6 points. Like you could really just like, it's like an onager type thing where if it gets going, it gets going.
Yeah. Okay, I agree that 6 power I was capping a bit, but I still think giving her +1 or -1 prov is a cool buff.
This is where you would put it. You'd put it in the buffable category with like Hemdol and stuff.
I would put her as a priority buff actually.
Okay.
I think if we buff Skellige, that's one of the cards I would seriously consider.
Oh.
Ultimately, I would not start with buffing Skellige, but if that's something I was doing,
Yeah. It gets dangerous because against like a warriors deck, you need 1 lock or a way to remove tier, and maybe a way to deal with this.
Yes and no, because another thing which makes tier not that strong is that warriors never win round 1, and if you push them in round 2, there's a very good chance they will not go in round 3 with like full value tier anyway. Like most likely,
Yeah, they'll have to play some other War of Clans and
shitload.
stuff. So that is an asymmetrical way to combat tier.
Yeah. So tier has lots of vulnerabilities. Is my point.
Mush's voice creates an echo. I think maybe when I was loud, you were hearing it through Gabane's mic. Maybe.
I doubt it because I'm wearing headphones.
Oh, you're wearing headphones?
So
okay.
I don't think that's
How is
what
it
could
getting
be
an echo
happening.
then? Weird. Is it happening right now, chat?
Wait,
Oh, I
let me
can hear
put
it.
the volume on. I'll see.
Okay, they don't hear an echo. Cool.
Yeah, there does seem to be an echo. No?
Test.
Okay, then we're good.
If it is, it's very quiet.
Ulumar is so bad. But
Where's
as I mentioned in your chat, I feel like people think they want Rain to be good, but
They don't
actually
want Rain.
to be good.
Oh,
Yeah.
this thing is
As soon as Rain is good.
the best stratagem in the game.
Yeah, by far. But like, there's no way to nerf it or buff it. But yeah.
So
by
you
far
would
the
put
best strategy.
Svanriga in the auto include.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if I'm honest, even the Svanriga deck is shit.
Sure.
Blade of Glory is just
But
worse
it's individual
than,
card power rating, right? Not decks.
Yeah, but Svanriga himself is just he's basically iced but more flexible and for 4 less provisions.
What about Gert? Is it basically balanced or buffable?
I'd say balanced. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean I play him as is. I think it's worth the provisions. In the right deck.
Yeah,
like it's not every kind of, but most of these cards are specific to a deck.
Which is how it should be, right?
Yeah.
Like
Some cards should be like versatile. Some cards
Like-
should be auto include, but most cards should be in this category.
if Swarm starts being playable, for example, Gerd becomes suddenly insanely good.
Yeah. Grimace seems fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, 6 is
pretty
fine.
balanced.
He's like better than the other 6 provision purifies, but he's roll locked and it's kind of an alchemy payoff, and it's fine.
And he's in a faction that doesn't need Purify that much as well.
What about Hey May Flaminica?
Oh, she needs a buff, and she would be a good.
How would
unique
you buff her?
Put her at 5 provisions, maybe even 4.
Okay, 4 is no.
It's an elder bear that has some small synergies.
I mean, with Melusine, it's already 2 points a turn.
Yeah, okay, I'm capping a bit too much with my 2 provisions.
You just like her 'cause she's
I would
hot.
put her at 5.
You like all
That's
the Skellige
true,
ladies.
but I also, okay, you got me. But I also like the healing archetype. I feel like healing is.
We need
is
to do-
good. I feel like
We need to do a tier ranking of the ladies of Gwent at some point.
I did that for my ST.
Oh, you
I
did
had
already?
my chat forced me to add like a cute category, so
Okay.
I did that. but I think healing is cool.
This would go in the
healing
cute
as
category.
a mechanic is interesting. Yeah. So I would also put her as like on top of buffable. I think she's a good card to consider buffing.
Yeah. So the farther they are,
bigger.
the weaker they are, which means the more buffable they are.
Okay, fair enough. Fish is cute as fuck for sure. I have to agree with
Yeah,
that.
it's just
Fish is cute.
like kind of
Fish
like
is
the
also
giant
one of
the frog mating season toads in SD. Like they're the most handsome, and then this is cute as fuck.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Speaking of fish, I think it's balanced. I think it's one of the best designed cards in the game. As strange.
Yeah,
as
I
it
love
sounds.
using Incubus on it.
But like, I think it's the most clever sinning card in the game right now.
Yeah,
It's the
Morntard is
cleverest
probably the
sinning card.
cutest monster card. True.
Which one?
Morntard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Necrophilia is hot, right?
Yeah. Hey, no shaming if you're into older ladies.
No. I mean necrophagia, not necrophilia.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
ladies who eat cadavers.
Oh,
Basically.
gotcha. Eating corpses is so hot right now.
Yeah.
What'd you say about Greatsword?
Balanced, I'd say. I don't think he needs either a buff or a nerf.
Yuta, same.
She's really weak, honestly.
But like, how? I mean, she's already 6 provisions.
Yeah, you can't make her 5, and you could give her +1 power, which isn't that big of a buff because it also makes her requirement harder in a certain way.
That's true.
Like it's a buff and a nerf in a way to put it at 14. So
Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know if you even want that as a war. Like,
I think that would just be a buff to Blaze of Glory, and she would just remain Blaze of Glory for
yeah.
as she's.
But even like when I'm playing Blaze of Glory, I'm just running Great Swords now. No Yuta at all. I just run 2 Great Swords because
I'm still running Yuta.
you're running Yuta. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I put this card
for
in
the
cheesy because
consistency.
I hate it. Like I like the consistency part of it, but I
wouldn't
hate the
disagree.
clicking part of it.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree, but again, we're talking about an archetype that
Yeah.
has very few cards you need to answer.
Like it's like
That's why I don't mind it too much.
it just pisses me off when I have the answer, but I don't have it in round 1, and they play it, and I'm just like, I guess I have to
Yeah,
Oswald
that's
this now.
frustrating. That is frustrating. But to be fair, if you're playing Oswald, you're kind of happy.
yeah.
If I wouldn't put him in extremely cheesy. Like I don't.
It just needs to start with E.
disagree. Oh. Oh. Honestly, I'd put him in balanced.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's that bad.
Okay. He's definitely not buffable.
I get your point. I see your point.
Yeah.
I see your point for sure. But I don't think he's that bad.
Or like, maybe it's like extreme caution.
Yeah, he you shouldn't buff it for sure. He definitely shouldn't get buffed.
There you go.
I don't know if Hjalmar is that scary. The green Hjalmar.
No, he's just cheesy. Damn it.
He sees like
Well,
If you
the
have
raid card
shitloads of
thing is
armor
like
and-
is cheesy. The other way, I
the
think
raid
he's
card
just
is
bad.
really good.
Like,
Oh, you mean you? Oh, I didn't even think of that. I didn't think you could play him. Wait,
that's why people play it. They
No.
play with abordage and they try to like get to round 3 with this and 2 other cards with lots of armor, and then put this between them, and then play a raid card and have this boost those cards by like 20 points each.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Well, okay, fair enough. Let's leave him here then. But I do think abordage is cool.
I
Abordage
do
would
think
put
so
at
as well.
5K.
I think it's playable. I don't know how to make.
I played it. I got to pro rank this season with it because last season I didn't play.
Yeah.
And so I went to ranks, and the deck I went to pro with is warriors with double abordage. But it's a shit deck. It's objectively weaker than normal warriors. I just played it for diversity.
There. I just made a category called Don't Know TBH.
You know what would be the best way to buff abordage? Actually, it would not be provision. It would be that give it death blow,
Instead of
Like-
Bloodthirst?
kind of like eagle,
Or in addition
like
to-
both, like eagle.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying when like
You have 2 bloodthirsts, but you cannot kill anything of those 2 because if you kill, then it doesn't work. That was really fucking annoying me when I played the card.
yeah. God, I keep killing all of the opponent's units, and so now I have nothing else to hit.
Yeah, but like you see my point. For example, if you have a damaged engine, you cannot kill it with abordage because if you kill it with abordage, you've removed bloodthirst.
Yep. And
And that creates
it's
like a
already
really
a
awkward
conditional
dynamic.
card because you have to have a pirate in hand and bloodthirst too.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like
Too
adding
many
more.
conditions.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think sadly CDPR will not allow us to do that, but the best buff would be to give it like bloodthirst. Sorry, death below. Also play a pirate, like another condition.
Okay. This guy got changed to set the power of an enemy unit to his own power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kareem says it's OP. He loves this card.
Who?
Kareem.
Kareem?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I think he
I
was playing it in the puzzles Fury deck, but it's more of a flavor card, I think, than like he actually thinks it's OP.
I think it's close to being playable.
Yeah.
Like in a specific meta where, for example, Self-Wound becomes good, he's probably good. I don't think you should buff this. I would say balanced, honestly. On the weaker side, but ultimately I'd say balanced.
Yeah. Seems. This is buffable.
That's like potentially the worst card in Gwent right now, or close the worst gold at least.
It's
like,
yeah, because she could
I
like
think
she heals by 2, and so but she doesn't like if Blue Boy is at 5 power and you click this on Blue Boy, it doesn't go to 7.
okay, I think that in Skellige, if you play this card, like I think Elder Bear is more playable than this card if this card was 4p6 power. I think you would still rather run Elder Bear for Beast Energy than this card for like occasional healing.
Yeah, I played like an old school cultist deck with this, and I went through a lot of effort to make cards like this and this like good in that deck, and it was, but the deck was very very weak.
The archetype is interesting.
Yes,
I wish
exactly.
it was more playable, but the card is so bad. The card, like, I think at 4 provision 6 power, you still don't run her in any deck.
My council buffs, one of them is Hofrusinger.
I like Hafrasinger. I was saying that when I did my review that I like that card.
Yeah, and it would be
I
a buff to
would
cards
not
like
buffer
these.
for the simple reason. Well, I wouldn't buffer for the simple reason that I think it's kind of a wasted buff. I think Hafru even at 5p will not be played at all.
Well, it comes down as a 7 plus 2 per turn if you have any healing, which if you're playing Alchemy,
Very specific deck.
you do, right?
Yeah, I kind of see it, but you know, Alchemy is kind of another of those decks that people think they want to be good, but they don't want it to be good.
Especially with the ale now, it's kind of
Exactly. I was about to mention it.
yeah.
I was about to mention that. That's another like deck that can very quickly become very frustrating to deal with. Yeah, this one is obviously extremely cheesy. No debate here at all.
This is basically balanced, I think. Melee boat.
I would argue you can put that in cheesy. Actually, I don't mind balance either. I'm fine with both categories.
Yeah.
But like, if you were to tell me it's cheesy, I wouldn't argue with you either.
Like, I'm more inclined to put Funeral Boat in cheesy because this is Rollock. And can, you know, like just the fact that you can move
fair
it
enough.
is like.
But ultimately, I agree that both are balanced. I don't think any of the boats are really problematic.
Yeah, I almost don't want to do the bronzes actually. I just want to do the golds.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's like
Fair
too
enough.
much and it gets a little repetitive. Plus the list
I
becomes
agree,
cluttered.
I agree.
You know? But well,
Maybe we can take a quick look at bronze and see if there are some like real outliners without like moving
Yeah.
them all around. Just like
because we still have like
take
these
a quick
golds
look
down
and see.
here.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's start with golden. Yeah,
Okay, Blood Eagle. This is like auto include.
I'd say balanced. I wouldn't say auto include.
Would you ever make a Warriors list that wouldn't have this?
No, but then again, I would never feel this card is oh so strong. Like it's
Like these are
it carries.
nothing here should be nerfed. They're just, but you always play them if you're playing the archetype.
Okay, then it's fair. Okay, then I agree.
I honestly don't think there's much in Skellige that needs a nerf. Maybe Sov is
agree.
still a
I
little
agree.
stupid, or Flaminica. Like these two are like the only two that I think are kind of playing for, like this because it's immune, and this because it's like 7 provisions and plays for 20 points twice. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah, but in a really shit deck.
Yeah, but I'm not rating decks, right? I'm just rating cards.
Also, Full Tilt is making a good point. If we go by auto-include, then Vabjorn is still auto-include in Warriors, even though we both agree he's weak and buffable.
That's
But he would
true,
still
but
be
the
auto-include
reason
in
you play
Warriors.
this is because the raid cards are so good, not because this is so good, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Ermion is definitely not. So the reason I put him in buffable is not because I think he should be buffed. It's just that like I think all the consistency cards in Gwent could use a little bit of love, like tutors.
Yeah, I agree. Nick was saying that too, but actually Nick will be buffing tutors this season, I think.
Yeah, like last
From what I heard.
vote I had Land of a Thousand Fables, Geralt Quen, and what's the other one? Avalok Sage. I also would.
Yeah, Avalok Sage for sure needs some love.
It's like
He's a,
10 provisions
an
to get
artifact
an
tutor
artifact.
is cool.
And like, I like the kind of golden necker that isn't YOLO, and so having something that can thin an artifact out of your
I
deck.
agree. I fully agree. And also Avalok is like the game right now is starving for artifact singers, for artifact tutors.
Yeah, you like if you
Like,
play
you
if you want to play scenario, you have to play
Avalok, but he's
Oniro
just so bad.
or a million thinning.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like makes scenarios even more binary than they are, because if you miss it,
Yeah,
you're just like, oh my god.
yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
that's
I
the
really
only
like
reason.
Avalok
So like I would put all the 8 provision tutors, like, you know, give him some love somehow, and that's the only reason why he's here. But he's like,
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree. I fully agree. And as far as I know, Nick also agrees. He's also thinking tutors should be
okay, Compass, this one might be controversial.
But no, I don't think so, because we agree. Like, I would not buff it at all, because I think we all agree that Compass should never be played in Golden Necker, but I wish it could be like 9 or 8p and banned from Golden Necker, but we cannot do that, right? So
Yeah, like what if it spawned a siren or 2? Just type of, like, I don't know.
maybe, I don't know. Like, I really wish it was cheaper, because I think the card is cool, but I never want to see it in Golden Necker, so
I had an idea for
I don't think there's much to do.
that was like Golden Necker proof.
Curse of Corruption?
No, it just needs to be like so like the problem with Compass is it's too easy to thin in Golden Necker, and it's too hard to thin in non-Golden Necker for the requirement for the legendary. What if you just made
if
it so it's
8p, it's worth it suddenly, but then you play it in Golden Necker, so
exactly. What if it was instead of having right now it says like you need 3, I think, or 2 or less. We just added one to that requirement. Like what if
it would make it pretty good. I'd like that.
if there were fewer than
like
4 cards in your deck? Then you need one less thinning in a regular deck to play it. Like
I think then it's considerably better, because you're less coin dependent.
yeah, and it makes it justifiable as a card that you play for consistency, not because like let's say you're playing a Warriors deck, you know, and you have Fukusio and Harold in your deck, like, and you've thinned so that you have like 5 cards, like, or then Compass is probably going to get you one of those two.
My Warrior deck, the one I mentioned earlier, that runs double up or dash, would actually sin to 2.
There.
My Warrior deck could actually potentially play Compass, and I almost tried to build it, but then I was like, the deck is already bad enough. Let's not make it even worse.
You like Compass into Artis against Deathwish and laugh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Compass is a sad card.
It is.
For that reason. Like, nothing you can do about it.
Delirium.
You don't want this to be too good.
Right.
You want it to be a meme card. You never want it to be too meta. Like right now it's on the verge of being... It's between full meme and kind of playable. Which is kind of where it belongs, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't even mind it being 9p. I feel like it's the kind of card you never really want to be in the
just
meta.
because like some game gives them a Fukusia and you're just like, fuck this.
It's so high variance.
Yeah.
It's so fucking high variance. Like, that's a Hearthstone card, basically.
Yes.
So, hard to justify in Gwent.
Okay. What do you think about naval supremacy? I've never talked to you about this card.
I think it's very annoying. I would put it in cheesy.
Yes.
I don't think it's neither too weak nor too strong, but I feel like it's frustrating to deal with. I would put it in kind of cheesy, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan, but I don't think it should neither get buffed nor nerfed. I'm fine with where it is right now.
Yeah, like the thing I hate about it is the only counterplay is squirrel. Like literally, that's it. Like, or don't play cards. Don't play units. Like that's
or play like honestly, a few times I screwed over pirates by like forcing them to
eat all the damage.
play it in an yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like it has some sorts of counterplay, but ultimately, for certain decks, it's infuriating.
Exactly.
And for certain decks, it's garbage. Like
it's
that's
like, oh,
why I
he
don't
played
like
this,
it.
and now I'm just gonna take damage, or all my shit will
I'm
die.
playing
because...
ST, I'm gonna take 7 damage and give him 7 armor. I'm playing Nilgard soldiers, well, get fucked.
Yeah. Or
so
like,
that's why I don't.
Or he has a boat and this, or like you take care of the 2 boats and he gets a 3rd one, and you're just like, fuck you.
Yeah. I agree. I'm no fan of that card at all. I agree.
Okay, Sigdrifa.
Surprisingly few disagreements so far. Surprisingly few
Yes.
disagreements.
We feel the same.
Sigdrifa cheesy, yeah, for sure. I think right. Where
like
else
you don't
would
want to
it
make
go?
this cheaper ever.
No, definitely no, definitely not.
It's...
Unless you kill defender. If you kill defender, but like we cannot kill defender.
Or can we?
Well, I wish, but
I think Champion's Charge is a really cool card. Actually, I think it's like
I agree.
It's like
I agree.
The way that, like, I wish monsters had something like this. Maybe Imler's Wrath. If it wasn't for Frost, Imler's Wrath, like, you justify it at 7p. But the Frost thing is like, because like it would be limited.
Actually, I think you can justify Imler's Wrath at 7p even with Frost. Frost is pretty like mediocre.
It's not like 1 provision, because all it would do is add 1 provision to Frost, and it's not like Frost is gonna do anything crazy with it. Like they can't suddenly run on Seed Omen because you gave
fan,
him
but I would fine with it.
What's that?
Yeah. You know I'm not a big monster fan, but I would be fine with Imler's at 7.
Yeah. Well, you are a Frost fan, I think.
Fair.
I
am a Frost fan, but I don't think Imler's at 7 changes anything about Frost. I don't think it makes it like stronger or weaker.
Tears of the Offering to the Sea. This is one of my favorite Skellige cards, actually.
I like it as well, and I feel like the amount of provision it has doesn't change anything about the card. I feel like when it's good at 10 provision, and when it's bad at 4 provisions.
Yeah. How do you feel about Raining
It's very
Fleet?
meta-dependent. I think it's fair.
Okay.
You think it's too weak?
No, it's fine. I mean, I don't usually run it in my pirates, but other people do, and I get it because it's a bleed and thins a boat. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like fair. It's like it's a better tutor than say Vabjorn or the other like 2-for-8 tutors.
Yeah, but it's conditional to it's limited to both, and it's random.
It's more it's much
so
more
it's like somewhere
yeah.
between like Last Wish and Vabjorn, which makes it fine at 7p.
It would be fair at 6p, but I don't think it's a
it adds 4 bleed.
Anyway.
Like that's the thing that like if it didn't add bleed, then 6p or less. But it's like, especially for like,
it's fair as it is basically. If it was slightly stronger, it would still not be a disaster. But like, it's fair as it is.
What about Decoction?
I don't even remember what it does.
It does.
Change, right?
You pick. It either does 6 damage to 1 card or 1 damage to sorry, it damages 1 6 times. Yeah. Or it can do random to a row. So you can still kill Saskia with it, with Rain or whatever.
The problem is it's shit at 6 and it's OP at 5.
Right. It's almost like they should have left Delirium where it was at 5, and like that's one of the shittiest reworks. It killed the card that was playable, interesting, and fun, and had nice trade-offs. And jammed it into a 6p card. It's like.
Now it's OP at 5 and too weak at 6, so it's very awkward.
It reminds me of this rework. The range ability on this is literally the same as the old Morntard. No, not Morntard. Old Morvud.
Morvud, yeah.
But it's for 2 less body.
I didn't even know he did that actually. I literally just found out that you could boost all elite beasts by 1. I didn't know that.
All this does, this range ability, it just makes it a card that will brick if you play it on range row without a Papago warning. That's the actual implication of this, is that you can screw yourself because it doesn't give you a warning if you try to play it on range row, and then you're like, shit, there goes 23 points. I guess I forfeit.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
Like
I didn't know it had this ability. Yeah, exactly. That's really what it is.
Yeah. But Morvad used to be 8 provisions, 6 power, and boost all allies by 1.
I remember.
And they took that part, like, it's the same thing with Delirium. They took a lesser provision ability, put it in the decoction, and now it's like shit.
I guess the logic was that, like, if you draw him in round 3, like, well, no, it still doesn't make sense, right? Because if you draw him, you want to play him early. Yeah.
Don't go there, Gabane. I tried. For 15 minutes, I tried to figure out when this range ability is better, and it's like, it's only good in the long round 3, this range ability. And if you're in the long round 3, you fucking play in melee.
Yeah.
Well, what if you don't have a beast? Well, the range is only on beasts also. Like, how do you? How did you get these beasts? Was it from?
I see it. Yeah.
Rat King. Well, the Rat King is also a beast, so just buff him. Like, fuck.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it really makes no sense. I agree.
Restore is cheesy.
Yeah, you don't want to buff Restore too much, but I think it's good where it is.
Yeah. Like, we're not saying we want to nerf any of these, because, like...
Yeah.
It's just like...
Just be careful with the buffs.
This card is extremely high variance. It's kind of same as this, actually.
Yeah. I agree. I do have a soft spot for healing cards, but this one is a problem.
Like, as far as memes go, I'm a lot more supportive of memes that, like, use Restore than memes that use, like, Swablet. Or whatever, you know what I mean? Like things that like prevent the opponent from playing versus things that like give you like stupid points.
Yeah. I agree.
What? How do you think about the scenario? I don't even know where to put it.
Well, that's a hard one. I agree.
Compass only.
It's a hard one.
Not anymore.
It's balanced ultimately. I'd say it's very meta dependent.
Yeah.
In the right meta, it's really strong. In the like Nilfgaard Soldiers meta, it's really weak.
Getty is, I think, probably one of the stronger scenarios.
Interestingly, I would probably put Getty in cheese. I feel like Getty is one of those cards, again, you think you want to be good, but you don't want them to be too good.
It's just a stupid amount of points in the short round, but it can get heat waved. It's like Masquerade Ball.
Yes, but also with, like, in a faction in an archetype where you cannot afford to heat wave it.
Oh, really?
Because then, well... Back in the day, you used to play with Medicine and stuff. And today it also plays with, like, Ale. Like, I had recently a game versus a deck. To be fair, I was playing a weak deck, but still. I pushed them round 2, they played Scenario. I instantly passed one card. They were 1 card down.
Mm-hmm.
And in short round, even though they didn't have Scenario, they had so much other, like...
Yeah. Have you seen my Alchemy guide?
I have not, but might be something similar I played against actually with like Ale and stuff.
So yeah, this is before Ale was an alchemy card. I made this. And I said, it's telekinesis and rune mage.
Cheeky.
Yeah, you just get like 3 or 4 Freya's blessings, and then you bleed. Like there's no tomorrow. Like you win round 1, even if you have to play scenario, you do it. And then you just play Oathkill round 3 and laugh at them.
That's kind of cute. I like it actually.
Yeah. I was farming Vice decks with it. It was hilarious.
Interesting. Oh yeah, to be fair, Vice always expects to have the insane round 3, but...
Yeah, but like, so I play scenario round 1, get him to pass, and then I just bleed down to nothing. And thin with Scald, so I was guaranteed almost to get... And because you have Hewlin, you can play Freya's in round 1 without it being...
I'm assuming the reason it didn't really take off is that it's pretty high rolly, right? You need to draw your cards very consistently.
It's mostly that it doesn't have control. Like, well, you have these two, but like... There was the Shield Wall Golden Necker deck at the time.
Well, if you're outpoint everything, you don't need to control. If you do outpoint. The thing is you need to draw your...
You lose the carryover abuse.
Right order. Like Muta Generator and stuff.
because
I can see
because
that.
they stay in a deep round 1 and they get so much carryover that you can't. Anyway.
Well, if you pass early, well, anyways,
Yeah.
let's not strive too far away from
Okay.
the point.
Hair trolled.
Hair trolled is hard.
Yeah. I think it's still like one of the strongest cards in Skellige.
Busted. Yeah, it's still busted. It's still busted. Like, I feel like at 12p, it's still very fair.
Like, I hate it though. I hate provision nerfing this because like I would much rather the like order and the ability, the deploy got flipped, so that you could play it for the clash, and then you click.
Oh. Yeah, that's actually really cool. I agree. That would be really, really cool.
It would fix a lot of things,
and
right?
Then you can...
One, it would prevent the dry pass like being played, because like Novigrad is a lot harder to put on the board as carryover, whereas this is like...
And then if you do what you just did, you can put it back at 9 or even 8p.
Exactly.
And it becomes much more situational. And
I want cards to be more cards to be playable.
Weird. Now it's in a weird spot where, like, at 12p, it's like weird. It doesn't make sense to be 12 provision for the point it makes. But then again, at 11, it's still like carry over, kill any unit opponent plays is so strong.
Plus, I like locations that give you a choice of units, because then, like, you know, oh, this game I'm gonna get a Griffin Adept. Like, I like paying for flexibility, right?
I agree.
It's sad.
When I did my best designed card, I think location was my number 3. Like the Skellige. I don't remember which location I put, but this idea, basically, the idea that you're paying for a small bonus effect of carryover plus like good flexibility, I think it's fantastic game design.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely see your points.
So with that, I think Care Trolled is, or not Care Trolled, Care Moorhen is balanced.
Yeah, it's balanced, perfectly fine.
This is what like this one should have been.
Outdated.
Yeah, the healing is a bit weird. And like
I wouldn't mind it being 7p, I think, honestly. Not a priority buff at all, like nowhere near a priority buff. But like in the very long run, I would consider it.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, it fits in both categories, I think.
Yes.
More in balance than buffable, I think.
I agree, because I already play this, right? Whereas some of these cards like don't see any play.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But like if this was 7p, I wouldn't mind either.
It feels a bit outdated.
Yeah, it's like the old. It's like Doldulok. Like a Doldulok is way worse.
Exactly.
But same idea.
Doldulok is way worse, but yeah. Now I'm playing a Golden Egg or Nilfgaard deck, which is pretty fun, and I'm playing the Nilfgaard location, which is really
that one's one of the most fun ones.
Yeah.
Because Kanta.
Yeah.
Like wholesome Kanta is what I...
Yeah, wholesome Kanta, exactly. Well, today I non-wholesome canted, what's his name? An Oberon, so that wasn't very wholesome, but but I still lost that game. So
would you say Temple, is this called Temple? I forgot what it's called.
Totem.
Did you say Totem is auto-include or balanced?
No, I wouldn't say it's auto-include, because I feel like it's like there were a few variants that didn't play it. Like if you go full in self-wound, I don't think you're on it, for example, like with the self-wound ability and stuff.
I run it still, because it's you run cards that, like, just clicking this on Draco Turtle is 2 points, or on Sigvald.
Yeah, you have the option to either run it or not run it, right?
Yeah.
Depending on the build you use. But it's fair in both. I don't mind it in auto-include either. I'm fine with it in both categories.
And the resilience on this is like good, because all you're getting is the clicky, right? Which isn't...
Oh, by the way, I just realized Harald is not auto-include. Harald is caught in almost all warrior decks now.
I think that's troll, personally.
No. Like almost all meta warrior
I know they
decks
because they run Care Trolled and Freyas and Fukusia.
Yeah. And it honestly makes sense.
But I don't understand why Fukusia over Harald. Because what if you can miss Fukusia?
Harald tends to, yeah, but Fukushia almost always goes to Vabjorn. That's one, and
Oh.
two, Harald will ping off
Sirens.
your sirens, and that can be a very big problem. Like he can lose you games.
Yeah, that's
Most people most people cut it.
why they're cutting
And,
it. Okay, I was wondering why everybody was cutting it.
Yeah, I was also wondering at first, and then I had a talk, and then I also tried not cutting him and realized he wasn't. He felt outdated.
What I like about him is that like he's a proactive card, whereas like Fukusia needs like stuff on the board, right?
Yeah, it's true, but
And also that
it's
like
still like
he gets like you can use him to play a great sword, and or like you can put something in the graveyard with Tyr and then use Herald to put him back out, and it puts like 2 threats on the
Well,
board, kind of.
yeah, but almost always you will play him for Mountain Guy from Highland Warlord,
Yeah.
and if you compare him with Freya's Blessing, you start to see that he doesn't add 7 provision worth of value compared to Freya's Blessing.
That's true.
So I think he doesn't belong in Not to Include. I think he belongs in like kind of balanced, basically balanced.
So like here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, even Blaze of Glory cuts it. I built a new Blaze of Glory, and even there it felt bad to play him.
But it's not a function of the card being bad. It's just that Freya's is busted.
Arguably, yes.
It's like a
but
necromancy for
also-
5 provisions. That's also an alchemy card.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. Yeah, I
It
didn't
literally
think
plays
about
the
it that way,
card.
but yeah,
like
Freya-
it's actually the same
Yeah.
as necromancy. You just can't use it on a
Yeah,
pellet.
yeah.
like, why would
yeah,
you?
Freya is busted. Okay, you know what? I never saw it, but Freya is busted. I agree. That's funny, actually. Freya is busted. The faction is so like limping. You know what I mean? Skellige as a faction is kind of always limping.
Yeah. What is?
Like I don't know.
What do we? Runestone's, I guess, technically a gold, so I brought it, but it's like whatever. It's fine.
It's like, what do you wanna do with those?
I mean, I'm not gonna make it 4P, but it's also some cheesy meme decks play it.
Any like important bronzes to either buff or nerf?
Only the ones I can here. I'll just grab a few, put them down here, so we can have them in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
Strongest bronzes in the game.
Yeah, but does any of those feel like oppressive?
No, I think they're all fine.
Oh, you know what? A good one to buff would be Abordage, I think.
Where is it?
Abordage is bottom left.
Make it like Feral
5P,
Bond kind
I
of.
think it's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
I think it's fine. The condition is so oppressive that I think even at 5P, it's fair.
It thins
I
the
don't think
deck.
it's
Like
okay.
Feral Bond doesn't thin the deck.
Yes, but you need exactly 2 Bloodthirst, which, and as discussed.
But if
previously,
anybody
you're
can
not
get it, it
allowed
should be
to.
Skellige, right? Like I know right now, and I think for me the problem is that it requires a pirate in hand. If it was like
as I said, I reached pro rank with a deck that run 2 of them, so I played this card a lot recently, and it's really not as good as it seems on paper. Like almost always, I had to like really go out of my way, to manage to play this, and it would either force me to not mulligan, or it would force me to not kill a target that I want to kill, or it would force me to not play a raid because I need units on board. Almost always it almost played for like having it in my hand was almost always a negative ultimately. So it's on paper it's wow, super strong raid, allows you to sin and play a pirate. In practice, setting up is such a pain in the ass that yeah, I feel like it's fair at even 5.
you have a Twitter?
Completely fair. I don't.
Okay.
So that's not me. I don't know. I never.
I'm only just posting this on Twitter, so I have it for myself because I kind of want to
Feel free.
this is like the golds, and then can I reset this? Is there a reset
I'm
button?
very surprised by how much we agree. I don't think there's a single card we ended up disagreeing on.
Nice.
Mostly.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, like you can just save it here. Cool. Download.
Yeah,
Nice.
and you can reset. You can reset if you go lower. And on that note, I probably have to go because it's already 1 a.m.
All right, man. Thank you so much. This was really fun.
It was a pleasure.
Yes.
It was a pleasure, my friend.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Later. Cheers.
Bye, Chad. Bye.
Yeah, say bye to Gabane.